Good afternoon, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. Purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if probable cause exists for those charges. Probable cause simply means it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person who committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me today, I presume that you're innocent to these allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings, unless and until the State Attorney's Office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release today, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, a bond has been set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit of the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this afternoon. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you have not had a chance to make that call, please let me know and we'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. And I need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. You all solemnly swear or affirm, tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Outstanding. When I call your name, please step forward to the podium. Melissa Ashley.
Yes.
Afternoon, Miss Ashley. What's your date of birth?
6/10/1987.
Miss Ashley, I have two charges today, battery being domestic in nature and witness tampering. There's probable cause for those two charges. As to those charges, do you wish to hire your own lawyer? Are you going to represent yourself, or would you like me to appoint an attorney from the public defender's office?
I'm not sure I fully understand those two charges, but I will represent myself.
Okay. And state?
Showing a withhold of battery for battery in 2011 out of Hernando, and an action was dropped for battery in 2007 out of Hernando, and she's showing as a single source offender.
Okay.
And the victim, one of the victims, is pregnant.
Okay. And
Okay, I understand.
awesome. Sir, did you want to address the court? You want to tell me something? Yeah, come on up.
Sure.
Can you raise your right hand for me? Solemnly swear, affirm, tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes.
State your name.
Jefferson Ashley.
All right. So, Mr. Ashley, this is your sister, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, what do you want to tell me today?
Yeah, they said that I needed to let you know that we wanted to have peaceful
You want to have her back home?
contact.
Okay. Yep.
And we don't want to press any charges. We assume they might be picked up or whatever. She just got released from Springbrook yesterday.
Okay.
And she needs help that honestly isn't being incarcerated. It's more.
Amen. Amen.
So,
Okay.
I don't know how I got to do that, but
Okay. Well, I'm going to help you out.
Whatever we can
In
do.
a second here, we're going to set bonds that will be reasonable, able to get her out. We'll allow peaceful contact. We'll talk about that in a little more detail. They should have.
Will that be with my mom too? Because
Yep,
she
yep.
just couldn't be here. She's
Yep.
with the kids.
Yep. What you need to do is make sure that you, if you haven't already made an appointment in the state attorney's office, make one and keep that appointment. Let them know what's going on. Let them know what you'd like to do going forward, because they want your input.
The little room over there I'd already been to.
Up on the 4th floor,
And I told
or
him,
they're over here now.
they're
right?
over here on the
Right.
3rd floor, and I had already spoken with him, and I said that the state attorney, once it gets assigned,
That
they'll
wasn't
also
correct.
reach out to him.
Somebody will reach
I
out to you.
explained that it might not be till the beginning of, because of the holiday and stuff, so, I mean, I'm assuming the court date would be the 15th, I'm not, if we're still there.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still. Yep.
So I had given him, I said that I think that's the court date, but somebody would obviously reach out to him prior to the court date.
Right. And they'll want to know what you want to do. I mean, in the meantime, she'll be home. We'll get her home today. Make sure you stay in contact with the state attorney's office so that they know what you want to do and where you want to go, all right?
Okay, who do I see if she needs to be in a treatment center instead of at home?
Well, all of that, my guess is if she just got released from Springbrook, you're familiar with Baker Act and how that works. If they cut her loose, then that's that, and you're on your own looking for treatment.
So them telling me to come sign some ex parte or something, I shouldn't even.
Well, that's Baker Act. That's
Yeah.
what that is, right? And I'm just guessing that if she was just at Springbrook, they just let her go, meaning they thought she had reached the point where she was no longer a danger to herself or others. I don't know, and I don't know what kind of care she needs going forward. But I can tell you, for the most part, this is the criminal justice system, is not going to help you very much when there ultimately aren't criminal charges. And so then you're left with the civil system, the Baker Act system.
Okay.
All right?
Yes, sir.
So
Thank you.
that's not a lot of help, but we'll get her
I
home
appreciate
anyway.
it.
All right?
Thanks.
All right. So don't go anywhere. Hang on a second. And you guys all live on Dakota Drive in Brooksville?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. So Melissa, your mom and your brother want you back home, okay?
Yes, thank you.
So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to set your bond on each of the two charges at $10. That's a total of $20. So
Sounds good to me.
$20 gets her out of jail. All right, Jefferson. You can take the money to the jail this afternoon, and that'll get her out. All right.
And I don't want her to come home if she's not on her medicine. She wouldn't get
Well,
her medicine.
that's up to you. I mean,
So, understood. Thank you.
I'm not
I'll
turning her
call
loose.
my dad if I have to.
All right. So Melissa, the condition of that bond, however, is that any contact with your brother and your mother has to be peaceful contact. So you got to do your best to stay calm and stay peaceful, because if they call after you're out and say that you are not being peaceful, you can get rearrested and held in jail without bond. You understand that?
I understand.
Okay. We're going to have you back in court on January 15th. Very important that you contact, well, she didn't ask for the public defender. Make sure she's there on the 15th, and make sure that you keep in contact with the state attorney's office.
Is there a way she can get a public defender if she changes her mind?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's just a day out of.
Right. All she'd have to do is stop by the office here and fill out an application form.
Thank you.
All right. Very good. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Stephanie Cutler. Afternoon, Stephanie. What's your date of birth?
August 14th, 2000.
All right, Stephanie, the charge is possession of hashish. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Yes.
All right, I'll appoint the PD, state.
I'm only showing juvenile history, Your Honor. It was a battery that was dropped in 2018 and a disorderly conduct that was dropped in 2017.
Oh, jeez.
She's
19.
so.
Right. All right. Stephanie, I got an address for you on Fireside Street in Spring Hill. Is that where you work? Live?
That's where I live.
Right.
Correct.
Sorry.
Yes.
How long have you
You're
lived there?
I'd say about 4 years now.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
I serve at Hooters.
Okay. All right. I'll set your bond at $500. I'll have you back in court on the 15th of January. Stephanie, very important that you contact the public defender's office when you get out, all right?
Okay.
Thank you. Tangi Darley? Afternoon, Miss Darley. What's your date of birth?
09/25/93.
All right. Ms. Darley, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Scaglione. He found probable cause for one count of grand theft auto. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Represent myself.
Okay. State what you got.
Showing an adjudication for false name to law enforcement, 2016 on Hillsborough, adjudication, false name, 2015 on Marion, adjudication for 2 counts dealing in stolen property, 2 counts false information or false verification of ownership to pawnbroker, all 2014 on Marion, adjudication for grand theft, 2014 on Marion. She's showing as a multi-source offender, and I'm showing an action was dismissed for financial transaction card fraud in 2013.
All right. Young lady, I've got an address for you on Oswald Boulevard. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How long have you been there?
My whole life.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
No, I don't.
How long has it been since you worked?
About a year.
Okay. I'll set your bond at $1,000. I'll have you back in court in court on the 15th of January, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Have a good day.
You too. Summer, good? Afternoon, Summer, what's your date of birth?
11/3/75.
All right. Summer, the charge is battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to the charge, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
I'll represent myself.
Okay, state.
I'm showing a withhold 1996 out of Hillsborough, but I'm not sure what the charge is. It just says see the docket for charges. And an adjudication for possession of alcohol by someone under the age of 21 and 95 out of his illness. Single source offense.
Okay. Summer, I've got an address for you on Gondolier Road in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, I do.
How long have you lived there?
About 2 years.
Okay. And Mr. Morgan lives there as well?
Yes, he is there on and off, yes.
Okay. Oh, he was there yesterday, right?
Yes, he was.
Okay. Do you have a job these days, Summer?
Yes, I do.
What do you do?
I'm an auditor for an imaging company.
Okay. Is that something you do in Hernando County?
It is.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Okay. So Summer, I'm going to set your bond at $50. Condition of the bond, however, is that you're not going to have contact with Mr. Morgan until we get this case resolved or until further order of the court. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message. Don't contact him through any social media. Don't have a third person contact him. Don't go where he lives. Don't go where he works. You don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine having contact with him, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond can be revoked and you can be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact unless even if he wants the contact. So if you answer your phone and hear his voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see him, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that he cannot drop the charges against you. He may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges. He may tell them he's not interested in pursuing this matter, but that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney who's handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped and you should not have contact. In addition, I have to hold you today up until 4 p.m. so that if you wanted to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we would know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact, because in that case, not only could you get your bond revoked here, but you could get new charges for violating the injunction. Now, I understand there's a lot of children involved, right?
Yes, I have 3, 2 with him.
Right. And obviously, if you're not having contact with him, you want to still have contact with your children. Is there somebody that both you and he get along with who could facilitate making sure that you see your children?
Yes, my mother,
What's your mom's name?
her name is Marion Good.
Miriam Good?
Marion, M-A-R-I-O-N.
I got it. So what I'm going to do is I've ordered you to have no contact, and that's very restrictive, as you've heard. I will let you have contact through your mom, Miriam, for purposes of arranging visitation with the children, okay? But keep it limited to visitation with the kids. We don't want to have any issues or problems, okay?
Okay.
Okay, as far as the address on Gondolier goes, if he decides to stay there, you'll have to stay someplace else until we get your case resolved. You can go by one time to collect your clothes, your toothbrush, whatever you need for wherever you plan to stay until we get this resolved. But to do that, you've got to contact the sheriff's office first. They'll meet you there with a deputy who will stand by while you collect your things and get going where you're going. I'm going to have you back in court on the 15th of January, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, Summer.
Thanks.
Good luck. That was odd. Amanda Heath. Amanda, I understand you'd like to have a public defender, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Very good. I'll appoint the public defender. Looks like you're going to be in court on December 30th. PD will come see you before that, okay?
Okay, thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you. Joy Johnson. Afternoon, Joy. What's your date of birth?
4872.
Joy, 2 charges today, possession of drug paraphernalia and tampering with evidence. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Yes, please.
I'll appoint the PD. State.
Showing an action in 2010 for worthless check, but I do not have a disposition, and DUI from 1990, no disposition.
And Joe, I have an address for you on State Road 575 in Dade City. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
8 years now.
All right. Do you have a job these days?
Not right now.
Okay. How long has it been since you worked, Joy?
About 3 years.
I'm going to set your bond at $500 on each count. That's a total of $1,000. I'm going to have you back in court on the 15th of January. Very important that you contact the public defender when you get out, okay?
Okay.
Very good. Brian Batten.
Which one? Brian Batten. There's 2 F's. 2 Brians? Yeah. There's 2 Brians. 2 Brian Battens. Okay. Disregard that, sir.
What's your date of birth?
12/17/81.
You're the one I want. All right. Brian, I got 2 charges today. I've got a, first is a warrant signed by Judge Scaglione. He found probable cause for a trespass. And then we have a probable cause arrest for violation of probation. Looks like you're currently on probation for felony driving on a suspended. Does that sound right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there's probable cause for both charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Nah, public defender.
I'm going to appoint the public defender. Bond on the VOP, of course, is no bond. That's coming back on January 15th. I'll leave the bond on the trespass at $1,000. That's also coming back on January 15th. Public defender comes see you before you go to court again, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Still there, Mr. Warren?
Brian Hatton. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
8/24/82.
Right, in your case, I have a warrant signed by Judge Toner for a violation of probation, and we have a charge of possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause then for both of those charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
PD.
I'll appoint the PD. Bond on the VOP, of course, is no bond. I can't change that. That's coming back January 15th on the paraphernalia. I will leave the bond at $1,000. That is also coming back on the 15th. PD will come see you at the jail before you go back to court, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Jason Kirkpatrick.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Afternoon, Jason. Date of birth? Date of birth?
5/18/76.
Jason, I understand you got sentenced earlier today. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Just about an hour ago.
Okay. So this is a warrant that was signed by Judge Scaglione, charging you with failing to appear. The bond is no bond, but of course you got the DOC sentence anyway. Do you want the public defender on this charge, Jason, or private counsel?
Public defender, or can we just wrap it up today so I can go to Pasco and do my charges?
Yeah, I can't, unfortunately, Jason. I am going to move your date up so it gets wrapped up. Can't fathom why they didn't take care of it today.
I don't know why either.
But that's the workings of circuit court, which are beyond the ability of a poor old county judge to understand. So what I'm going to do is leave this at no bond. I'll appoint the public defender and move the date to December 30th, which is as quick as I can get you back there. And hopefully they'll resolve it then, all right?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Jacob Nace. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
2/24/98.
All right, Jacob, first thing I have is two warrants signed by Judge Merritt. Each case he found probable cause for a violation of probation. And then we have new charges of possession of meth and possession of paraphernalia. There's probable cause for all those charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself, you're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender all the way around. On the VOPs, of course, the bond is no bond. I can't change that. I'm going to change the dates on those to the 7th of January. You may have been told the 15th. The right date is the 7th. On the new charges, I'll leave the bonds per the schedule, which is $2,000 on the meth, $1,000 on the paraphernalia. Change the date on that also to the 7th. So all your cases coming back on the 7th. PD will come see you before then, okay?
All right, thanks,
Thank you. Todd Needles. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
5/13/89.
Todd, you're hearing a warrant signed by Judge Helis. Apparently you failed to appear in her court on a charge of driving on a suspended license. State, is this something he can resolve today? Do you know?
The offer in the files and adjudication, 30 days, Hernando County Jail, fines, court costs, prosecution.
All right. And so, Todd, if you wanted to resolve it today, you can take 30 days in the county jail. Otherwise, we'll talk about appointing you a lawyer and setting a bond.
I'll take the 30 days.
All right. And do you know if he has time?
I do not know, Judge, but it looks like this was a remanded case.
So you
he should have some front end.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
My apologies for not.
That's okay. We'll figure it out. Just want to make sure we get all your credit time, Todd, okay?
Thank you.
Yep.
And it looks like the offense date's from July.
Arrested on the 12th. Same day, so we've got one. All right, Todd, if you can take the 30, I see 3 days of credit. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. You understand by entering a plea today, give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, right to have a lawyer represent you, but you want to give up those rights so we can take care of this today?
Yes, sir.
Case number 19 CT 2630 as the charge you drove, knowing your license had been suspended or revoked. How do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest.
I'll accept that plea, find it was freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty. Sentence you to 30 days in the county jail. Credit 3 days served. Finding court cost is $450 and your cost of incarceration. But that takes care of it, Todd. You just have to finish the time, okay?
Thank you very much.
Good luck to you. Richard Watkins. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
10/22/1968.
So, Richard, you got charges now of a grand theft and a possession of a firearm by a felon. As to those charges, there's probable cause. You want to represent yourself, hire private counsel, would you like the PD?
Public defender.
Okay. I'll appoint the public defender. I'm going to leave the bonds for the schedule on these, Richard, which is $2,000 and $5,000. But then I'll move them to the 23rd of December, where your other felony case is already. So that's the 23rd of December at 1:15 in front of Judge Merritt. And so the public defender will handle all your cases, all your felony cases on that day. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Justin Webster. Afternoon, Justin. Date of birth?
9/13/83.
All right, Justin, in this case, the charge is possession of a motor vehicle with altered VIN number. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
I got a private attorney.
Okay. What's his name?
Michael G.
Master Giovanni.
Yeah, something. It's a weird last name. Something with a G.
Okay.
Cops or something.
Okay.
He used to work. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave the bond. We'll assume that you're going to have him help you with this. I'll leave the bond for the schedule, which is $2,000, and then move this to December 30th, where your other cases are, or your other
Yes, sir.
felony case is. So hopefully you can take care of it there. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. Matthew Gaudet. Matthew, what's your date of birth?
11/24/81.
Matthew, you're here on one count of violation of conditions of pretrial release. There's probable cause as to that charge. As to that charge, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point the PD and state this relates to a battery that's still open. Is that right?
It is. The battery is still open. That's 2019 MS3817, and it's currently set for a pretrial conference on January 2nd, 2020 in front of Judge Heelis.
All right. Any other significant history?
There was an adjudication for trespass in 2016 out of Hernando, and an action was dropped for aggravated assault domestic violence in 2006 out of Hernando. That's all I was showing you.
Okay. And the open case is 3817, right?
3817, yes, Judge.
All right. So, Matthew, this is how this is going to work. On this charge, I'll set a bond of $1,000. Condition of the bond is that you not have any contact with Miss Hawley. We'll move this one to the 2nd of January, where your battery case already is. However, job number one when you're out on bond on criminal charges is don't pick up new criminal charges. It appears to me that you have. Therefore, pursuant to Florida Statute 903.0471, I'm going to revoke your pretrial release in 19 M3817, and we're going to hold you without bond until that charge comes back, which is on the 2nd of January. At that time, you'll have an opportunity in front of Judge Heelis to resolve both your cases if you wish. If you don't resolve them, you can readdress the bond in the older case if you want to do that. Public defender will come see you at the jail before you go to court, all right?
So I'm held until the 2nd?
Yes, sir.
Correct?
That's correct.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Jones, let's wait.